All right, this thing seems to be on. Welcome. So it is Saturday night here in Southern California, and I had a couple of things on my mind, so I thought I would start this up and kind of go over them. But I was working to try to get the audio to work on the other screen. Didn't quite get it, so oh well. So welcome. My name's Kurt Bell, aka Softypapa. And the things I want to talk about tonight, first let me bring up, get things a little more configured here. Oh, here it is. There I've got that. Oh, there's already comments. Let's see. Moist Turnip Gaming. Hi, Kurt. Good to see you on my day off for a change. Hope you are well. Yep, I am very well. Thank you. That's a heck of a name for sure. And here's a name I'm familiar with, Englandese. Hi, Kurt. Good to see you on my day off for a change. Hope you are well. Wait, it's almost that is the exact same comment. Are you one and the same person? Moist Turnip Gaming and Englandese, or is that just an incredible? You know what? It is not the same comment. Look at that. There's after the word change. There's a comma in Englandese, and there's an exclamation mark on Moist Turnip Gaming. So what are the odds that the first two comments are almost identical, with the exception of some slight grammar difference? And, oh, it was your other channel, you said. Okay, all right. I only see Englandese on my chat box. Oh, okay. Hi, Devil's Clutch. Oh, you got yourself a Ducati there. I forgot to change it. Oh, okay. No, well, that explains it. All right, well, first off, let's get into a few things. Now, I'm doing this at night, which means it's dark outside. Hold on, let me close this. Maybe I can get some light reflection on that. So I'm very dark right now because usually I have beautiful ambient light coming in during the day. So it's nice, but now I'm kind of in a shadow. But hey, it is kind of night anyway. Why not? So there were a couple of things I wanted to talk about tonight. Let's see if I can bring these up. Okay, first of all, what is my beer of the day? Well, today I am going to be enjoying rideshare pale ale, or not an IPA. Let's find out a little bit about this beer, shall we? Okay, let's bring that up like that. Although I have to share the screen first. Share. And I have to pick, I think it's 2. Nope, not that. 1. Not that. Of course, 3 is the charm. Allow. And there's our screen. And let's make that just a little bit bigger. And let's go to Google, and we're going to say Rideshare India Pale IPA. Rideshare in India Pale IPA. Rideshare Pizza Port Brewing Company. Could that be it? Let's see. It doesn't look like it, does it? No, that's not it. I know. Let's do Rideshare. I got this at Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's beer. Blah, 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 blah. No, this is the second one that I got from Trader Joe's that I wasn't able to find. Let's see if it says anything else on here. A joint initiative for the betterment of the public palate. Does it say where it's brewed? Oh, another San Diego one. Rideshare India IPA Trader Joe's San Diego. This is no. Okay, well, the heck with it, right? So let's give this a try. I haven't been drinking much at all lately. Been working very, very hard, and so I try not to drink when I'm working, when I have a lot of deadlines and the like. Just kind of muddies the brain. But hey, it's Saturday. I got tomorrow off. Why not? So let's give this a try. Pale Ale Rideshare, very, very Southern Cal, I think. Very, very much an IPA. Has that flavor that I'm not too partial to, and I have to be careful as I put this down. Can you see this over here? This thing that Emily got, when I put this down, it'll get a blue light around it. Watch this. See that? The blue light? Emily got that for me for Father's Day to keep my coffee warm, but I don't need warm beer. So let's not put that there. Okay, let's carry on. So a couple of things. Let's keep up with the comments. Twin Lamp says, "Hi, Kurt. Just came from watching your anxiety hike book reading." Oh, no kidding. Really? Oh, wow. Well, I would love to hear what you thought. And Emily, I'll show you guys a really awesome drawing that Emily did for the anxiety hike. Hold on. Let me bring that up. So the anxiety hike is a chapter in this book. It's actually the centerpiece chapter. Let me find that drawing. Art, Emily's art. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Oh, I don't see it. Oh well. Oh, you know where it is? I can go to the darn website. Hold on. Here, let's just go to, you're still seeing the screen. Here, bring up the screen. And let's go to my website, goingalone.org. And the anxiety hike is, well, part of it is right on the front. So the art that's going to pop up on the screen is a piece of that. So this is, take away that. Why is it showing these banners? No more banners to show. There we go. Make that full screen as well. So this is Siberia Ghost Town. You can see, I think you can see my cursor. That's me standing there next to my tent. Here's my motorcycle. This is the ruins of the Siberia ticket office for the ghost town, for the railroad. This is the tire at the entrance. This is Route 66 back here. Of course, this is the riding bridge, and this is the BNSF railroad with a train passing by. You can see over here the stones that make up the path of wildness. And you see how leading from the tent, now you can see me standing there, and I've got my backpack on, and leading from the tent, there's like a line heading out. So this is part of a much bigger map that Emily created for the anxiety hike that describes the lead out for it. Now, I don't know why it's not showing up. It's like I lost some files. Hold on. Let's see if I can find that. That's kind of distressing to think. Did I actually lose it? Other? Well, I'm not going to waste your time as I just sit here mulling around for lost files, right? Who's going to cry over that? But I hope you found it interesting. It's a chapter in the book. Like I said, it's an important chapter because it is the anxiety hike was the event where going out deep into the desert to encounter the great indifference firsthand for myself. Let's see. I see more comments. Mm-hmm. So, and about half the chapters now are in audiobook. So the way you can find that, if you go to, and here's the way it's going to be like last time. I never got to any of the stuff I wanted to talk about because I just gabbed on. Okay, so here, go to my channel. On YouTube. I updated the background there. That again is art that Emily made. So that art corresponds to. So Emily's made all the art for the books. See how this is the art for. This is The Good Life. This is the book that I finished, but I published it for about a week, and then I realized, I'm not ready to really publish it, so I pulled it back because I have to do a lot of editing still. But you see how this lovely cover, Emily. That's the same thing. Emily made that. She also made the cover for Going Alone. She made the cover for Freeway Bible Study, which I thought was just awesome. Look at that, Jesus there and all. And she also made a cover for No More Looking Out for Number One with herself on the cover of the cover. So here, if you go here, boink, and then you look for, I think it's the Good Life, right? Here we go. Where is it? That's not it. That's not it. Don't I have a Good Life playlist? Goodness gracious. I think I do. I just can't find it. Anyway, there's somewhere in there, there's a playlist for the oh good gosh. The chapters, because I go out to the desert and I read the chapters. And then I make an audio like chapter by chapter of the thing. So I think I kind of skipped over one. And it was here from Lee Crow. Hi, it's good to hear from you again. You've been gone for a spell. Yes, I have. I've been very, very incredibly busy. That new job that I took about a year and a half ago has been a tough one, and gratefully so. I have some of you that may remember way back when I was in Japan. When I was softypapa and I was doing the softypapa thing, and there was one video that I made where I analogized. I was, pontificating on a farm road by a roaring river. And I was talking about how, we're kind of like stones tumbling down from a hill into a stream, hard edges of the stone, right? And then as we tumble through the stream, it kind of wears away the rough edges, and you lose bits and pieces. And by the time you get deposited in the sea, you're a nice, maybe you started off this big, all rough edges, and you're a nice little rounded bit of sand at the end. And so is life. Well, I'm in the rapids right now for the last year and a half. Bam, 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 just getting so much knocked off of me. And I'm really grateful for that experience. Although I do worry that it's going to kill me. So I have to kind of decide how much longer can I keep this up? But as a result, I haven't really been making videos. I haven't been writing. I haven't been doing editing. I haven't been doing much of anything but just working. So, but maybe about 2.5 years. I'm seriously thinking about, retiring in 2.5 years, age 60, calling it quits. Yumiko and I are talking about going back to Japan. Yeah, I might do that. Go back to Japan, find a place to live there, and finish off in Japan. England says, it's incredibly hot here in Japan. I hope California is okay. LOL. It's really nice here in California right now. I'll show you a photo. I was just out walking the dogs. And come on up, show that, boink. And this is what it looks like. And I thought this was very southern. This was very Hotel California type of a scene. This is the sunset. It's really hot here. Out in Siberia, it's 120 degrees. So that'll give you an idea. Lee Crow says that's a good phrase for the betterment of the public palate. Where did you hear that phrase? I like that too. Englandese, I'm jealous. Where in Japan are you? I'll let you guys talk that out. It's a brightly colored can of beer. Oh, the betterment of the public palate was on the beer. That's right. It is a brightly colored can. Oh, I wonder where that is. Let's hold on. I'm trying to figure out what pier that is, if I recognize it. Well, it's San Diego, so it's probably down in San Diego. And Brian says, you remember that video? Wow. Okay. Wow. I'm impressed. Wow, that's amazing. And Ken says, I was watching you from your early days in Japan. Good to hear you're going back in your retirement. Yeah, I think we're going to do it. Let's see. Okay, I started living back and forth in Japan from about 1990. Let's see. I really started in 1987. I went, but only for a short time. It was really 1992 that I went back. So it's almost 2000. Let's round up and say 2022, right? That would be 30 years, right? 92, 2000, 30 years, right? So I think I've just about spent an even amount of time between those two countries in that time. So it's about time for us to indeed go back and give that a shot. And I'm kind of excited about that. If I had stayed in Japan, I would be so burned out. I was burned out when I was there in 2013, when I started looking for work in the United States. I was pretty burned out. I was pretty done being softypapa. I was done with the Abandoned Japan gig. Just, I didn't feel very challenged at work. And so it's good to break up the monotony. I'm ready for that now. And like I said, I'm far more broken and busted and worn out man now than I was before. I'll be able to go back with more humility and grace. And Lee says, you were one of the first official J-vloggers. Yeah, I guess goes back to the original days. Official, eh? Yeah. Jake says, "Hi Kurt, do you ever reflect upon your time selling antiques? Those were interesting videos." Jake, if I had anything that I would like to be able to sustain as a career of all the things that I've done, and I haven't talked about all of them, but that's the one. I really did enjoy doing that. I was all kicking the butt, and I would probably still be doing it maybe if it hadn't been for the economic crisis in 2007, 2008. That I basically watched my sales just dry up one day, and they never came back, and lost everything. But I really, really did enjoy that. That was a fun job. If you come back to Japan, I'll buy you a beer for sure. Would you reside in Shizuoka, or are you thinking of someplace else? I understand Yumiko's family is in Shizuoka. Yeah, no, we'll be in Shizuoka. I've already been looking at places. Yumiko and I have we're hoping to, actually, technically retire at age 60. And so we have a budget that, we'd have to sustain. I'm going to plan to work nonetheless. I'm thinking about maybe starting up my antique gig again. Although I've been kind of telling myself maybe it would be fun to actually get a job where I'd have to speak Japanese. I'm not good enough to work in a konbini, in a convenience store, but maybe I could find something to do. Not quite sure. Maybe Molly could help me out with some ideas. It'll be good to be back and see Molly again, and maybe he and I can go hang out at the bench, because I do plan to live close to. We do plan to live close to my wife's family. Good point, Jake. Those were cool. Laura, hey Laura. Does Emily have any interest in going back to Japan? Emily's, that's actually, Laura, that's topical. Let me bring that to my very first topic for the day. And I'll talk about that. Very first topic, second topic after the beer is Emily's new job. Well, Emily's had a few jobs since she's basically been midway through high school. And she started off as a waitress at a Japanese soba shop, the real deal, real authentic place called Tanakaya in Tustin, owned by a Japanese family. The whole family, kit and caboodle, picked up everything, grandma included, and came to the United States and plopped it down. They had for fast 500 years, they had a soba shop somewhere in Japan, and they brought it here and they started a Japanese soba shop. It's the real deal. It's really amazing. It's really good. And she was a waitress there for, must have been a year. Mom, Yumiko and I would go there, frequently, and it's really good. My gosh. It's like going to Japan. It's the real deal. They make their own soba there, right there in the shop. So she did that for a while. After that, she worked in a gelato place here at the Irvine Spectrum, some place called Frost, and she actually became a manager of that place while I think she was still in high school, and she was a manager of a gelato place for a while, which was a lot of fun. We'd go by and have gelato with her a lot. After that, she did a job working as a dog walker. She would go to people's houses and walk their dogs and do that, and after that, she was doing, wasn't there something else? I don't know. But what she's doing now, she just started this a couple of weeks ago, is, really an awesome job. She is an intern. It's not really a job. It's an internship. It's a Japanese company that has a base here in California, an office here. And what they do is they export to Japan goods from the United States. So Emily is working there as an intern. She's a copywriter for their products. So they'll go get for particular items. They'll show them to, put them in front of Emily, and Emily has to write the copy that goes in the advertisements in Japan to describe these things. So she's actually, of course, writing in Japanese. So she's been thrown into the deep end. It's a true Japanese company. All Japanese employees, everything is Japanese. She's working with people back in the home office. So she's had her share of what it's like to, work in the Japanese environment. So now I'll answer your question, Aunt Laura. Namely, would she go back? I think that's what you said. Let me make sure I'm asking. Does Emily have any interest in going back to Japan? Emily has... I would use the description, basically taking it all for granted. when she was young, the fact that she could speak English, we were living in Japan, she kind of just took that for granted, or maybe taking it for granted isn't the right word. It was just part and parcel of who she was. She didn't think of anything about it. When we came here and she became an American basically, and I would think that she kind of took for granted her Japaneseness, right? I always thought that she didn't really give a damn about either. In the last maybe 6 months, that seems to have changed. She seems to have kind of woke up and said, wow, I mean, I can do both, right? It's like suddenly finding you're ambidextrous, right? I can drink my beer with my right hand, and I can write a love letter to my wife with the left hand, right? It's like, that's a superpower. She's kind of woken up to that fact. And I find that she has a lot of pride in being Japanese, and she tends to, for example, she almost exclusively speaks to her mother now in Japanese. Yumiko will speak to Emily in English or Japanese, both, but Emily almost always responds in Japanese. And when we go out, we have a sushi restaurant in San Clemente Beach City, about 15 miles south of here. We go to the sushi chef there is authentic sushi chef from Japan, the real deal. And he's really good. We sit at the counter there. Emily's boyfriend, Chris, comes along, and we just have a great time. We go there. We must go there once a month at least. And Emily's just all pata Japanese, just, all around. I mean, she just really likes it. And I noticed today when we went out for sushi today to a restaurant by South Coast Plaza that Emily and Chris had found. And on the way, Emily was controlling the music, and I noticed it was a combination of Japanese J-pop and American pop. And Mimiko even, I commented afterwards, like, wow, she's listening to Japanese music again. So your question was, would she go back? I asked her that question last week. And I think if I had asked her that question a month ago, the answer might have been different. But she told me that she would go back to live in Japan, but she wouldn't want to work there. and I think that's as a result of having worked now in a authentic Japanese work environment. And of course, she knows what the reality of work in Japan is. It's pretty heavy duty stuff. So I hope that answers your question, Laura. Speed Gimp. Hey, there's the name. I know. I was watching on Facebook, wondering what comments you were looking at. I eventually figured it out. LOL. Okay. Well, yeah. See, this one came from. So I'm on Steamer Yard, and so Steamer Yard feeds out to various different platforms. It's on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. No, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So you can see it has the YouTube site icon right there. Speedy, so that means you're on YouTube. And Jaden, another name I know, I watched the video of you the other day where you were biking around and you showed us the place your stepfather, I think, and you were picking up tuna together and met your wife. Really? So that must have been okay, there was a couple of times that Dad and I did that in Japan. One was going down to Shimizu, and I think the other one was out in Yaizu maybe. You know what, I see Miko and I were at Best Buy today, and to try to pick up an adapter. I was trying to get an HDMI-C adapter to an HDMI-C female adapter to an HDMI male adapter, so that my computer can make love to my wife's old computer can make love to the to the monitors. Anyway, and they had this light there that was made for bloggers, and I was like, I should get one of those. And look at my dark face, I should have got one. So that was probably, I wonder if you saw that in Japan, that was probably Dad and I in one of those two places. Is that in Hamamatsu? Not in Hamamatsu, if you're referring to what he was referring to. That was in, I think, closer to Yaizu, out where Molly lives. Nice. Congrats, Tammy. Yeah, I'm so proud of her. She's doing so well. She's in her, I think, 2.5 years now into school. She's wrapping up. She's doing so good, getting really good grades. A Dean's List this year. She's in junior college still, and but she is now looking at university. She's got a couple of schools in mind. She's looking at Loyola Marymount here in Malibu. She's looking at what's it called? It's the same place her boyfriend goes. I can't remember. It's another school in there in the South Bay, and she's also looking at Long Beach State and she's also looking at Cal State Channel Islands and Loyola Marymount. Is that it? LMU. What is that? Loyola Marymount. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Something like that. Anyway, will she be able to get a full-time job there after her internship is over? I don't think she's going to want to. I think she's doing it to dress up her resume. I don't think it's what she wants to do. She wants to. Emily's interest seems to be at this point to find her way in. She's getting her degree in communications, hey, just like her dear old dad. Actually, linguistics. I have my degree in speech communication and biology, and she's going to get hers in linguistics. But she keeps talking more and more. She keeps on taking these communications class, just like I did, which is interesting. I think what she's going to be angling for is a job for like a company like Toyota, working, utilizing her bilingual and bicultural skills to be like a liaison type of a thing. Lee says, does she like her new job? So. It's hard work. She's got her hands full with a lot of stuff with school and the like. It's work. So, I will listen to. Listen, I will to listen. I will to listen. LOL. Oh, okay. Everyone loves Hikaru Utada. I don't know who that is. Yes, that was it. I love those videos. Oh, are you talking about the ones getting the fishing stuff? It's so good to see you again. Haha, I missed you, Kurt. Oh, thank you very much, Jaden. I appreciate that. I'd do this more if I wasn't so damn worn out. I'm literally. I'll come back to this next comment in a second. I am literally toast every day by the end of the day. I mean, finished. It's a combination of two things. It's a combination of the challenge of the job, which is very difficult job. It's a next layer up. The job that I had before that I came to the United States for, I had that job for, what was it, six years? 2014 to 19, is that right? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 5 years? 5 years. And it was a level up job for me. I'd taken a break from IT and to go to Japan, and I came back, and that first year back in America wrung me through the ringer. They should have fired my ass. I'm sure if it wasn't for the fact that I'm a nice guy and I'm generally, seems to be, I'm a likable person. I don't tend to rub people the wrong way. If it hadn't been for that, I'm sure they would have fired me, because I came back. I was not qualified for that job. But I worked really, really hard to make myself qualified. And I've told this story before, and I was able to promote up there and succeeded finally. But then I chose, and I should have learned my lesson, because after 5 years, I was, and I can kind of ease up a little bit. But then I decided, nope, going for the next level, right? Man, and I'm back in the ringer again, doing better than before. I don't think they're necessarily going to fire me. I don't know, it could happen, but I'm trying my best every day, and it's so hard. So we'll see. Okay. What does she eventually want to get a degree in? Oh, I think I answered that probably before you, after you wrote that. Linguistics, I think, or communications. Stop imposing your heteronormative views on your electronics. Well, they are male and female outlets, right? Maybe not as well endowed as some, like a 3.5 inch audio socket, right? Man. It's making me warm. Is she living on campus again, or has a place of her own, or with you? I'm so happy for her that she is doing well in college. Well, Emily had her own place. She had a pretty snazzy place in a place called Marina del Rey, which is kind of in the South Bay, kind of an upbeat place. It's kind of in the center where Loyola Marymount University. That's the other one. So she's looking at the other one I said, Loyola Marymount, and then the thing in Channel Islands. So she was living in that area, but then we pulled her back because of COVID. But she's still with us. But I'm saying probably, next year she'll probably head back out again. dorms. She wants to do what do you call them? Sorority. She wants to live in a sorority house, which I'm all for. LOL Speed Gimp. Yeah, go Speed Gimp. The sexual innuendos. There you go. Look at the smiling guy. You are looking good, Kurt. Thank you very much. Hey, did you notice I'm sporting my Going Alone t-shirt? Yeah, check out the back. This is you can get it. Hey, here I'll be kind of a salesman for a second. You can get it if you go to my website, right? And then you can go to the store. And I've got all these t-shirts here now. So here's the Path of Wildness t-shirt. We'll load one of these days. And I ordered one for myself just to see how I like it and how it fits, and it's all right. So either all of the art on these, and it's taking forever to load, but all of the art on these, okay, no, I don't care about that, is done by Emily. So, boy, that's a slow thing. Okay, so there's the you know what? Oh, it loaded this one. I didn't think it would. So this one has just the image on the back. You can see there's the riding bridge, Siberia riding bridge, and I didn't put anything on the front anyway. But anyway, that's enough for me trying to sell my stuff. Nobody cares about that. Let's see. I have other topics. It sounds like there was a lot of new things to learn. Yeah, well, you know what the thing was that's so hard about it is that it's a management level position, and that means owning things, right? So whereas before I was more of, as I like to call it, a worker bee. I get tasks. You do these things, Kurt. Go do those things. Even though I was a project manager, I was still not formally in the management role, and now that's the case. It's a level of responsibility that I'm interested in, but I don't know that I necessarily have the native aptitudes for it. And I am certainly wearing down. This mortal coil is definitely winding down, and I don't know that I have that in me. Let me get another topic out of the way, and then I'll go back to comments. Thank you all for your comments, by the way. So let's talk about the Maine Woods by Henry David Thoreau. It's a book that I just finished. No, that's upside down. So Henry David Thoreau, of course, is the 19th century transcendental writer who wrote the classic Walden, or Life in the Woods, which was a very instrumental book in my life. It is the reason that I have written my own book, Going Alone. I would not have written this had it not been for Thoreau. And the Maine Woods chronicles Henry David Thoreau's 3 adventures through the North Woods in Maine in the 19th century. Once to climb the highest mountain in New England, twice to explore various rivers along the way. I really did enjoy that book, and it took me a month to read. It's because it's heavily annotated. You can see there's the book itself, and then there's all kinds of annotations over here. And tracking those things down, learning about them, finding the references really took a lot of time, but I'm really glad I did. That was a good use of time. I'm starting now. I started this week, The Lives of a Cell by Lewis Thomas, which the hardest part, it's not a long book, but the hardest part is that it's just dense with citable elements. I mean, every single page, see everything in yellow here? Every single page has citable elements. The way I do this, by the way, is that anything in yellow is our paragraphs and sentences that I want to remember or note, and then anything in the pink there is our new vocabulary to me. I'm really enjoying this, making good progress. But it's slow going because it's rich in content, really, really rich. Let's go back to comments for a second. Ingledia says, I don't think Emily will have a problem getting work, especially in the next few years, as Japanese companies are already hiring people who weren't even brought up in Japan and only studied abroad. You're right. She has really become quite an American. I wonder if she'd want to even live there. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Lee Crow says, official Kurt Bell merch. Yes, it is Kurt Bell merch. I know, Laura says, I know those rows of stones. You do? You mean the ones on the shirt? Yeah, they're real. They're out there. That's the path of wildness, the real path of wildness. Now, the path of wildness, of course, though, is a concept that I started in Japan. It's only sheer utter coincidence that I encountered the actual path of wildness in Japan. I mean, in America when I came back. Jaden says, hey, Kurt, have you ever been to the city of Tokyo itself? Like, say, Roppongi Heights and stuff? Yeah, sure. You bet. So I lived for a while in Chiba, and then I stayed for a while in an apartment in central Tokyo back in the, good gosh, that must have been 1993. So I probably spent 6 months before they reassigned me out to a place called Fukuroi. So I have been to Tokyo many times. Be interesting to spend some more time there. I really, when I go back, I really want, especially if we're not working, it would be nice to, or not working very much at least, it'd be nice to really get out and see more and travel around and do onsens and I really want to be a foodie. Yeah. Go try ramen and noodles of all sorts. I saw that one. VVLMM says, Akikuhara Forest was the first video I watched of you. Missed the Abandoned Japan series. Remember the family complex abandoned in a forest you found with the tiny waterfall? Good times, nostalgic. Let's see. The waterfall's throwing me for a loop. I found several family abandoned compounds. In fact, that's one of my topics. The very next one I want to talk about was there was a video that I just rewatched because a friend of mine here had talked about bears and such, and I had mentioned to him, or no, talk about like hiding away hike, and I had told him about that I've got a little farm in the mountains of Japan where I go hide away, and here it is. Maybe some of you have seen this video, the Abandoned Japan farm hike. It's a long video, 1 hour, 28 minutes. And this is the one where I, discovered that farm up in the middle of nowhere, and then did a kind of a reconnoiter around. And then I went up into the woods. There you go, following the stream. Remember, there were the pipes along the way. And then found the waterfall at the very end. Let's see, if we don't go too far. And there was the waterfall at the end. And there were lots and lots of leeches. And then came back. Anyway, so that was that. Is this the one you're referring to? Oh, maybe this is the one, because that's got the waterfall, right? Hold on, let's see the waterfall. If I can. I think, no, hold on. Hold on, bear with me. Oh, there it is. But I haven't got it figured out so I can do sound, so it's not going to have any sound. Maybe you can see there's the bridge, right? And this is where I had to stop the adventure because there's no way in hell that I was going to cross that bridge. Nobody knew where I was. I was way the hell up in the middle of nowhere. And if I'd fallen is this the waterfall you're referring to? If I'd fallen into that plunge pool, that would have been it. But I wonder what the hell is up there beyond there. But there's the pool, and there's the waterfall. So is that the one you're talking about, VVLMM? I remember the Akikuhara Forest one. I think I disappointed people with that one because I didn't do a very good job of I didn't really drum up the spookiness element. Oh, I've read the Maine Woods. You've read the Maine Woods, Jaden? Really? Are you a thorough aficionado? It seems like the Maine Woods is special reading for those that are particularly interested in Thoreau. Interesting. Jake says, I was curious about your opinion on how America and Japan are similar and different as far as the spirit of the people. Let's see how I can sum that up. I would describe America. I would describe it up with 2 words. America is all about spirit. Japan is all about heart. You can take that as you will. How off topic? How is Molly doing? Well, I was just talking to him an hour ago. So we were texting back and forth. He was giving Emily and her boyfriend a hard time because we were out having lunch, and I was sending him photos and such, and he's doing good. He was sending me photos of his was it Opie, the dog, and he seems to be doing fine. I've watched it many times. Really, that video? Wow. I think this is the one. You remember it? Good Times. Yeah, that's my go-to farm. That was the last farm that I visited. The last hike before I left Japan. I think it was January 2014, and I had a weekend, and I said it's my last trip into the mountains, and what am I going to do? And I went to that farm, and I don't think I made any video. I just went up there by myself. I kept the camera off and just experienced it. Your longer videos are my favorite. Oh, thanks. I'm glad to hear that. I like making the long ones. Do you find it odd watching yourself in videos from way back when? Not odd. It's like having a memory. It's like bringing a memory up, and enjoying that. I'm really looking forward maybe to someday to be able to in the old retirement home to watch some of the past. I hope to have more videos with my family in them. Emily actually said something interesting recently. She commented about how how do I say this without sounding strange? She told me that she was aware that when we were in Japan, she wasn't very nice to me. And the reason this relates to the video thing was Emily was very adverse and sensitive to being on camera. That's one of the reasons why you didn't see my family much when I was in Japan, was Emily didn't feel comfortable with that. And I was like, why is that? We had a talk. She was like, I know I wasn't very nice to you in Japan. And part of the reason was kid. The other part of the reason was she felt uncomfortable about her English. I didn't speak Japanese very well. So to speak with me, she kind of had to speak in English, and it was a little bit awkward. So that was an interesting observation to have. And I don't really involve my family now, or even myself. I don't even social media and stuff. I don't share about myself at all anymore. And that's just pretty much because I decided to stop curating my life. Vivian says, yeah, that was the video. Good. Nice. Thank you. Those videos were so interesting. We kind of felt the way those long gone people that lived in those places would have felt. You kind of started the abandoned genre in YouTube, Kurt. Really? Wow. Oh, that's quite a mantle to hold on my shoulders. Yeah, I know what you mean about the feeling the way the long ago people that lived in those places. I never really showed it on my videos because it would be boring, but I would indeed, when I encountered such places as these, I would just stop and sit and just kind of soak it up and try to imagine the impressions of people's lives. Try to imagine the humanity that once occupied them. That's one of my favorite videos. I've also watched many times. Wow, that means a lot to me. You were heading out to Siberia often? No, not too often. As I mentioned earlier, I'm just too busy. But I do plan to be out there, according to this. If you look at my you're not seeing it. If you look at my website, there's a countdown timer here at the bottom. It says 4 days, 29 minutes, 51, 54, 49 seconds until I return to Siberia. But the thing is, two things. One, my big project's going live, not this Monday, but the next Monday. I don't know that I can take any time off to go out to Siberia, even though the timer says I am. The second thing is, let's see what the temperature is going to be like out there on Thursday. 111 degrees. I can do that. I tend to draw a line at 104. About 111 degrees with my bike fully tuned up as it is, I could do it. I really would like to get out there. Maybe I will do it. I've got the project going live, but maybe that's what I need to keep me sane. Laura says, I remember one time you made a channel with videos for Emily alone. Have you added to them? No, I have not. And that is called Colorful Balloon. Let's see if we can find it together. Here we go. Colorful Balloon. That was Emily's name. I asked her I made a YouTube channel for her and asked her to make up a name, and that's what she did. Now you can see there's all kinds of stuff for that, but let's search for channels. There's quite a number. I don't know where it is. I don't see it. I guess that's the balloon theme is a popular thing. Hold on. Japan. Wonder if that'll find it. No, it's out there somewhere. Sorry, Laura, I don't know. Speed Gimp says, with the diminishing birth rate in Japan, is it likely that if you return there, your former adventure spots will still be undeveloped? Oh yeah, I don't imagine. I imagine that they will be far worse for wear, Speedy. I don't think there's any chance in my lifetime or our lifetimes that Japan is going to recover its the population in the remote mountains without perhaps significant changes in immigration policy. Even if they changed their birth rate and everybody decided to start having babies again, that would take a couple of decades before we would see the impact of that. So don't you think that I haven't been imagining? Remember, there's a village called the village of the Long Bear, the Nagaguma. Let me show you. Don't you think that I haven't been imagining going out and getting a farm for myself? I'll show you the one. Okay, here's Japan. Somehow the whole Earth got tilted on its side. There we go. We're scrolling in. Okay, here coming into Shizuoka. You can always find Shizuoka because it's just to the left of the Izu Peninsula. Here's Izu right there. If any of you read the book Shogun by Clavel, Anjin-san, the real Anjin-san, landed right here at the end there. So here's Shizuoka and Shimizu. Okay, here's Shizuoka, and I can tell you guys where I lived. I always kept it a secret before because Emily was little, but my family and I lived right around here, this area, right around there. Okay, this is called the Nihondaira area. The bridge, remember the haunted bridge that Emily and I went to visit? It's up here somewhere. Yeah, I could find it if I wanted to. Anyway, out here, here's the Abe River. Okay, here's the branch. Make a left here. There's a bridge over here. When I would go out to the mountains, I would always come up here, make a left over this bridge, la-di-da-di-da, up this canyon a little ways, go a little further, and then you're going to make another right turn up this canyon. Make a right turn up this canyon. And this is the start of the area where I would always explore. And let's see, wow. Where is it? Oh, there it is right there. Okay, this right here is the village of the Long Bear. See, it's got this little side road right here. Oh, I should make this bigger so you guys can see better. See, it's got this little side road right here. That side road leads to the village. You can just miss it, right? Because you won't even see that that's there. Because you normally make a right turn and go over the river right there. Anywho, let's go show you. Zip around. So this is Nagaguma, the village of the Long Bear. And if some of you remember some of the past. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's do this right. Come zipping along here. Ride the car right around here. This little farm road right here. Right along here. See this one right here? Right along here, right along here, right along here. It's so beautiful here. And then you can make a right turn here, go under these trees. There's a little road that goes there. Right along, you can't really tell. See where the white hand is. And then right over here, and I would always park my car right here. Okay, right there. And this is my go-to beach. It doesn't look very pretty from here, but it's a really pretty place. And then some of you may remember there was a video with Emily and I where we had a dinner by the river, which is actually my email address, dinnerbytheriver@gmail.com. And I chose that email address in memory of that evening with Emily. And Emily and I had our dinner by the river right there. And let's see if I can see that real quick. Hold on. Dinner. There won't be any audio. Dinner by Okay, if I can spell. River. There is Softy Papa Emily. It's one of my favorite videos. It's the one that, let's see, okay, there's some mountains. There's the blah, 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 blah. I don't see it. No. I don't see it anywhere. Anyway, oh well. So anyway, I'll get back to the thing. Back to Google Earth. Right over here, I'll show you a house that was offered to me. Okay. Well, first of all, this house right here, this house is a gem right there. You can't really see. There's a house there. Oh, it's right there. This farmer here, one day I was walking up this road right here. There's a shrine right up here. You can't see it. There's actually a jinja right up here hidden in these trees. And I was walking up to the jinja, and he was standing right here. Actually, it was his wife. And she invited me in for tea. So I came inside, and we had tea, and they showed me all around. They had all kinds of stuff. They had stuff from like the Meiji period that they were showing me, their paperwork, all kinds of stuff. But what was really interesting was in the house, there was this perpetual sound of water. And what I learned was that he had drilled a pipe into this mountain to tap into the water that was in the mountain. And he had a perpetual fountain of water coming through, circulating. So all of the faucets were running all the time. He had a little garden over here that was just perpetually flowing with water, a little waterfall and all kinds of stuff. And years later, I went back, and the old couple, or the places had become abandoned. The old couple are gone, but as I stood there by the edge, I could still hear the water inside. So that was it. That was amazing. Now there's a house right over here. Come down this road a little bit more. Here, this tea fields are really nice. I used to go walk over here, and there's a little trail that you can go up and then walk through the tea fields. That was really nice. Where is that house? It's in the back. I think it was this one right here. This house right here. I would come over, and I walked up here a little bit, and I was taking a photograph of that, and a guy that was living in one of these houses came over to talk to me, and he's like, "You interested in the house?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "You want to rent it?" I said, "Well, how much?" And he said, "How about a basket of summer vegetables every year?" He was willing to rent this whole house to me for a basket of summer vegetables every year. So maybe when I get back, maybe I'll see if that place is still available. Oh my gosh, let's see how I can keep up with the comments. Okay, I visited Siberia. You visited Siberia? Did you really go there, Lee? Wow. Jaden says, also, have you met any fans or anyone you knew from YouTube? Have I met anybody I know from YouTube? Someone introduced themselves to me recently. That happened recently here. And when I was in Japan, I met more people. But I'm, my star has settled since. There's much bigger names now in the YouTube Japan space anymore, and I'm kind of a has-been, just like so I don't think people know who I am anymore. Englandese, my son is half Japanese, and I know he will shy away from me living in Japan, but they always come back in their older age. He will shy away from me living. Oh, because you're living in Japan and he's going to live somewhere else when he grows up and goes away. Been subscribed since 2009. Crazy that you're still making videos. Used to love your Japan exploration vlogs. Hope you're doing well, Kurt. Thank you. I am doing well. I'm getting old and tired and worn out, and I'm looking forward to getting back to Japan and getting back to basics. And the temps in Siberia, yes, the temps are incredible. 120 degrees today. They do come back in their old age. I did. Awesome. Jaden says, yep, been a long-time subscriber. Feels like being part of the Softy Papa family. Wow, thank you. That's really nice of you to say. Jake says, have you seen any new movies or TV this year of note? What I watch, I've been watching it over and over again. I don't watch really much TV at all. I rarely watch movies or anything, but I have been nostalgic for Japan, and I've been watching a show called Midnight Diner. I just love it. There's 2 seasons on Netflix. I'm in the process of rewatching the third time around. I'm in season 1 on the third shot. I really do love it. I've also been watching a couple of shows at my lunch break from Israel. One was called, gosh, I can't quite remember what it is. Story about an ultra Orthodox Jewish family, and just their interesting life. Laura says, it was something where you made videos, T.O. Emily, from you, sort of private between you and Emily. Oh, I do have a couple of those. Yeah, there's a couple of videos that I don't know if I've even shared with anybody. I just made to share messages with Emily. She'll have to find them. There's a playlist on my channel that is not visible, but if you get behind the scenes, you can find it, and it's got all kinds of videos that I made for messages for Emily that maybe she'll never find because I forgot about it myself. I think it would be a wonderful gift from a dad to her daughter. Yeah, well, it's done. I just have to remember to tell her about it. Getting your own farm would be awesome. Yeah, I would like that. I would love, I'll come back to this comment in a second. Speaking of, I would love to have a second chance at doing what I did before. I think I could. I've matured a lot since then, and I've mellowed a lot, and it would be interesting to re-see Japan. And I've conquered a lot of demons in the process as well. And it would be interesting to go back into the wilderness of Japan with less of an encumbrance of issues, personal issues, and more peace of mind. Where was your house on the maps? My house on the maps. I mean, on Google Mappy thingy. If you scroll out of the mountains, aren't those just beautiful mountains? My gosh. So that's Shizuoka. I lived over here. I'm not going to get any closer than right about here, just to say it was right around in this area right here. Okay. Just because my family still lives there. And I did get one time, had a kind of a spooky thing. And Emily's all grown, so I'm not so worried anymore. But I did have a spooky thing where someone sent me an email, and I had been keeping my locations private. And they'd sent me an email from Google Earth with, they'd taken a snapshot of directly over my house. And that was kind of spooky. Isn't that kind of spooky that someone would do that? Especially because I had a young daughter at that time. Hey Kurt, hey Cal, good to see you. Is Emily home? Didn't the last shogun live out his remaining years in your neck of the woods in Shizuoka? Yes, that's exactly right. He did. I'll show you where. So, Shogun. It wasn't the last. Oh, yes, it was. It was the last Tokugawa shogun. That would be Shogun Tokunaga Yoshinobu was his name, I believe. And Shizuoka was the retirement home of the shoguns. Of course, they would have their capital in Edo, which is up here, which is now Tokyo, but they would retire down here. And that began with Tokugawa Ieyasu, the first Tokunaga shogun, who said that he loved to come to Shizuoka because he could have, he could do falconing, he could see Mount Fuji, and he could enjoy pears, I think it was. And he built a castle right here. So this is his original castle. It's all been destroyed. Well, you can see the castle moat around here. See all this? This is the moat. I did a lot of videos around here. I would sometimes go here with my bike with Emily and the like. But anyway, the last shogun, after he, I don't know, did he abdicate or did he get kicked out? I can't remember. He came down to Shizuoka, and he has a house, and I can show you. You wouldn't know it, but he has this garden. I think I can find it. Hold on. I think that might be it right here. This is it. Okay. This is it. So he had his house right in here. This was his house right here. And this was his garden. This was the last shogun's house and garden in Japan, the Tokugawa Yoshinobu. And the entrance is right here. And now it's like a tea garden. And you can pay a lot of money and you can get in there. Let's see if we can see it from the street view. There it is. Now you can pay a lot of money and you can go in there and you can have lunch and some tea in the former grounds of the last shogun of Japan. Isn't that fascinating? My gosh. Boy, it's almost onto an hour. I better stop in a second. Find the next comment. I mean Kurt. Okay. I don't know what the context is. Sorry. Oh, I still want to visit that town. Like Kyle says, speaking of Japan countryside, there's so many countryside Japanese homes for under $4,000, and you don't need to have residency to own a home there. I'm going to get me one of them. Yep, I recently got permanent residency in Japan, so I'm happy not to deal with visa nonsense. Nice. Wouldn't that be fun? If maybe if I get back and if I get myself one of those farmhouses, I can do it like an Airbnb thing, and people can, because I don't think Yumiko's going to want to live in it out in the countryside. Japanese have a different idea about what countryside is. 15 minutes out of town, that's the wilderness, right? They don't want to live there. They all want to live in this area. They all want to live in the city. So maybe I'll have a place out there where I can go retreat to, and then you guys can come and stay as an Airbnb. Would anybody interested in coming to stay that? All these years after what? All these years after what? How do you feel about Japan? Did you feel welcome there? I remember you had some hard times sometimes. Some foreigners complain about not feeling welcome there. That's a heavy one to ask. I could spend hours talking about that, and I won't, because we're into it long. It's a very worthwhile question, though. I can tell you this: Japan is a wonderful place. It's foreigners, like everybody else in Japan, have a particular place that they reside in the structure of the society, and it's our role to be foreigners. And I struggled with that when I was in Japan. Even though I didn't do a very good job of even trying to acclimate, I still felt like I felt rejected. I've pretty much grown out of that now. I just don't. It's not an issue for me anymore. So if I went back now, I don't think these things would be an issue for me anymore. But it was hard for me at the time, because I you want to feel like you're home. And in Japan, as a foreigner, I always felt like a foreigner. Feels nostalgic. I hope I'm not skipping over anything. Wait, I think I am. Wait. Oh my gosh, there's so many comments. I can't keep up. There it is. Okay. And this next one says, congrats on the residency. Oh, that's you guys talking to each other. Congrats indeed. You got citizenship in 2019, dual with the U.S. You got Japanese and Japanese and U.S. citizenship. Wow. So you're Japanese. You're still Gaijin Lee. Awesome. Okay. Me too. I posted some vids on it. Wow. Love these streams. Thank you. Listening to you while I eat some lasagna. Thank you. Midnight Diner is good. I love the intro song. Me too. I love that. I've got it on the short list on my for listening to on my motorcycle ride. I'm currently watching, but it's too short, isn't it? It needs to be longer. I'm currently watching Bridgerton. Is that the British one? Yumiko and I watched that, and reading the book too. Nice. With the increasing trend to work remotely and the COVID-related drive to avoid dense population centers, it might not be too surprising if some people do move back to those rural areas. I don't know. I don't think so, Speed Gim. It's just not. It's like, it's not the thing to do. I mean, of course, there's going to be those people that are kind of the hippy dippy types like me, that are the Japanese ones that are going to want to do that, but they're rare. I mean, it's the Japanese country lifestyle is just the perception I think that people have is it's just hard. It's hard. Because it is hard. I mean, the way that people really lived out there was really, really hard, and they're too close to it. I mean, that's just a couple generations back. They still have the cultural memory of just how hard it was to be poor farmers. That they don't have a chance to be the gentleman farmer impression anymore. But maybe you're right. We'll see. Do you add to them? I hope no, I don't add to them anymore. Those videos. No. I mean, raising my son here, he'll naturally go towards his Japanese heritage. I'm English. I love Midnight Diner too. All right. Yes. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a difficult balance. And there's Speedy likes the Midnight Diner too. Yep. But hey, in the next 2 years, I plan on visiting Japan and the countryside and probably stay up to 2 months. Awesome, Cal. Would be amazing to see you back in Japan. Just watching you scrolling on Google Maps feels nostalgic. Awesome. Oh yeah, that would be spooky. My Japanese father, I think you're talking about that thing before, who is an actor in LA going to Canada to film the new Shogun readaptation. Really? Wow. That sounds amazing. That's awesome. Lee says, I second that. I sent you a Facebook message with Google Maps image, letting you know that your posted pics had GPS's info embedded. I remember that, Speedy. You sent that a long time ago. Sarah, sorry for creeping you out. Just wanted to be aware of that. You did send me to that years ago, and I don't know that I remembered thinking about it. I don't know that I was able to figure out how to stop it. But you're right. That's probably how that person found me. Almost time for you to go. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. So glad to see you're doing well. Say hi to Yumiko from me. Huggles from me to you and yours. Thank you, Laura. Yeah, it is time for me to go. I'm just going to try to get through the comments. Yes, I would stay. I've been totally down for that idea, Kurt. Have the money for a trip like that. Awesome. Where did the extremely wealthy live in Japan? I think like Hollywood Hills area of Japan. I'm not the best at knowing that type of thing. I think there's areas in Tokyo that are just like that, but I don't know in every big city. Yeah, I think I was 16 when I started following you. Now I'm 26. I've heard that story so many times. Thank you for hopping. Thank you for joining me, Cal. I appreciate that and being with me all this time. I will be honest, Kurt. I have not finished the update of Going Alone yet. I guess a few chapters in, but I have just a lot going on. As of late, had dental surgery back in March. Still have not got dentures. Don't worry about that, Cal. And the book isn't necessarily for everybody. And even if it is for some people, it's a tough read because it's even though I'm not a spiritual person, it's a psychological dive, I think. It doesn't read like perhaps, not very readable. We'll see. And this is the last comment, I think. Horsepipe. Hi, Kurt. Longtime follower. I enjoy your videos. I especially like the Abandoned Japan series. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I appreciate your long support. And with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Was there any other topics that I wanted to talk about? I think that was it. So at 1 hour, 6 minutes, 31 seconds, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. And now I'm going to go have some dinner. Yumiko and I are going to settle down and maybe watch an episode of Midnight Diner. Yumiko's been indulging that with me lately. So take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.